Time for me to get out of the way because we're going players only on the Bears, presented by Papa John's. Shaun?
Thanks, Patrick. Huddled up with my guys, LT and Willie Mack. LT, let's start with you. What's the biggest question that you have for the Chicago Bears heading into the season?
For me, guys, it's the wide receiver position. And I know most people, when you think about this question, you might say the quarterback position and Mitchell Trubisky. But, you know, the way I see it, in defense of Mitchell Trubisky, I don't think they did him any justice in what they'll put around him throughout his career. Now, Allen Robinson has had a bounce-back career from last year. He had over 1,000 yards. So he needs to be a little bit more consistent. But they have to have other guys like Anthony Miller and guys like that to step up. In today's football, you should be able to take advantage of these defenses on the outside. And when I look at guys in his own quarterback class, Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson, you think about both of those guys, they came into situations where they had people to throw to. Patrick had a tight end, and Deshaun had a wide receiver in DeAndre Hopkins. So Mitchell has never had that. He has to play better, no question about it. But those wide receivers have to step up and help him.
LT, it's interesting to hear you talk about attacking outside the numbers, because really that's not been something that Mitch has done a good job of. And now we just heard Stacey Dales talk about adding Cole Kmet in the first round. They added Jimmy Graham. So it seems like Mitch is better at seeing the middle of the field, and that's where Nagy's going to try to accentuate it. But really, the reality is one of the reasons why Mitch struggled last year was the offensive line didn't play well. The run game was not very good, and they didn't have those big plays. Too many times did you see this: Mitch Trubisky getting sacked, Mitch Trubisky running for his life. Obviously, there was a couple times where he missed some reads and missed some throws, but he was clearly trying to do too much. And I think when you look at Mitch, he's got to find a way to get the ball out quick, all right? Don't make a bad play worse, and get a little bit of help up front. Certainly with Kyle Long retiring, they're trying to replace him. But I think when you look at Mitch, this offense, there is no excuses now for him. It's all on him. I think he's got to find a way to make those big-time throws, because no doubt last year there were times where guys were open, there were big chunk plays to be had, and he simply missed on those throws. You can't do it, Willie.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Shaun. And what you're saying to me is this offense really had no identity. And if you can't execute certain plays, which Matt Nagy's trying to do and incorporate, then you have to dial it down. The offense was definitely limited. So if I'm looking at this offense, I know what they want to do with Mr. Trubisky when he's in the game. They want to move the pocket. They want to boot, sprint plays. He's a part of the run game when he has the football. He is a threat. But when it comes to throwing the ball down the football field, like LT alluded to, there was no accuracy, there was no deep throws, there was no connection with the receivers on a consistent basis. He couldn't make those tight window throws. So you have to game plan around that. And the other thing that I saw early on that gave me a full commitment that that's what they couldn't do was all the gimmicks that was going on, the different formations, the double reverses, all the different things that I saw said that they didn't have confidence in Mitch at that time, throwing the ball on a consistent basis, having a game plan that incorporated a lot of different things that the normal quarterbacks do. So I say, what's your identity? Find an identity. It's going to start with the running back position, solidify the trenches, run the ball, and the system is going to look different whether it's Mitch or Nick Foles. But they got to figure that out, who's going to be the guy, so they can game plan and go from there.
No doubt, Willie, they need an identity offense, because we already know what the defense does. They get after the quarterback. They added Robert Quinn quietly, a very big addition this offseason.